Hi there, I'm an Ultimate Iron Man. Sort of. I've divided the Runescape map into 18 regions, all with their own custom-built task system. These tasks provide rewards to me, such as XP and supplies. Every week, I will randomly select one of these regions and I'll be locked to it for 9 hours. Once up, my inventory and ward equipment will be wiped. My bank will be operating on a store-only basis, which means I can never take items out of it. I have compiled a list of RuneScape bosses, and the goal of this series is to kill all of them at least once. With every boss killed for the first time, I'm awarded either the choice of an additional region every week, or the ability to carry over one inventory slot every single week. Lastly, all of this content will be streamed live at twitch.tv/MrFrogRS, so be sure to join in. If you need any more information, make sure you check out the description, or just leave a comment. Without further ado, I bring you Regional Rumble! So stupid. We are now going to move on to spin ourselves 4 new regions for the next week of Regional Rumble. Now that is an interesting week. A lot more content than we could do. I'm wondering how much of this I can fit into 9 hours. We'll just have to see next week. Let's get on with another episode of Regional Rumble. Hello and welcome to another episode of Regional Rumble. This week I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Asgarnia, however I do want to quickly start off in Northern Khorane for one specific reason. I'm going to need some GP, and I thought the best way to do this was to collect some silk and we'll sell it off later, and that is going to allow us to get some coins for this week. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer, and the first thing I'm going to do is get an inventory of silk before we go ahead and do some other things while we wait for the cooldown. Alright, we're going to stop at, well, I think it's 25 silk that we've got there, and we're going to teleport over to pest control, so we'll go back to Asgarnia. And the first thing we are going to do this week is complete Pirate's Treasure, because I've been wanting to do that for ages, but I needed Asgarnia and Varrock in the same week, which luckily enough, we do have this week. Okay, if I have done this correctly, the rum should be in the crate from when we loaded it many, many weeks ago when we had Karamja. So I am very much hoping that it is in there, and I haven't messed this up. Let's go and see. Can we get ourselves the Karamjan rum? Is it in the crate? It is indeed. Wonderful. So we can go and hand this in. I do not want a banana. We can go and hand this in to, is it Frank? I believe his name is. And we can get ourselves the key for Varrock, and we'll go and do that, and we'll run around, head over to Falador, and I'll finish off this quest. I'm obviously not going to show any content of this quest, but I'll let you guys know when I finish it. I'm sorry, I've got to make this recording. I don't know when this door got changed because it never used to open that way. I always remember going in here to get the spade, picking up the spade, and then the door would be like in the way if you tried to open it. So you'd have to close it again to get to the spade. And now it opens that way, so it doesn't cause that inconvenience anymore. It's just tiny little updates like this that you notice and you just... When? Alright, well, that is going to be Pirate's Treasure completed, which isn't incredibly useful right now, but for the future it is going to be very handy because we're going to need it for some quests, mostly the ones like Cabin Fever and Rum Deal over in Mauritania. It is required for them. I think it might be required for some other quests somewhere else as well, but it was just an annoying quest that I really wanted to get done. Right, as we're going to need this money, I'm going ahead and selling off this silk back to the silk guy. I'm going to get another inventory as well, or at least somewhat of another inventory, just because I might need some more money. I'm also going to sell the stuff that's inside here in a moment. I completely forgot to do that. We should be able to get ourselves like 3,000 coins, and that should be enough to do what we want to do next, which is to complete the next step of Lost City. Now, if you remember last week, I went ahead and started Lost City with the optimism that we might get Asgardia in the future. I didn't expect to get it the next week. I promise it's not rigged. So the plan is to get the Draymond stuff from Lost City, and then we'll carry it over until we unlock Lumbridge. Because that way, we will then be able to complete Lost City and enter Xanaris, which gives us the ability, possibly, if we can get ourselves a diamond, to buy a dragon longsword, which is going to be a massive upgrade over the rune scimitar. Trust me, I'd love to get the dragon scimitar, but Monkey Madness is a lot more complicated to complete. Alright, so we got an invent of silk. I've just sold off everything else. We've got ourselves 2.5k. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do like below us mountain real quick. Shouldn't be too hard to do. We are 83 combat. I don't think it's going to be that difficult. Inventory space is probably the worst thing here, but I think I can manage it. And then what we'll do is we'll go and sell off the rest of the silk. I won't collect any more, and we'll get ourselves the stuff to do Lost City, because otherwise I'm going to be lugging around an entire invent of silk. Oh wow, that jumped up on me. I didn't realize the quest completion was going to come up like that. But there we go, that's below Ice Mountain completed. We've got ourselves some more coins, so I can't really complain. We're pretty stacked on the GP right now, about 6k. That should be plenty to buy the runes that we need. So I'm just going to finish up with this dialogue here, unlock the Cantos or mine, and then we're going to go ahead and get ourselves Lost City started / completed, more or less. Obviously, I can't actually finish Lost City, but I'm going to do as much of it as I can. I will be death piling, of course, to use Entrana, because naturally I cannot bring armor and weapons there, but I can bring the runes. Well, this was a nice surprise. We got ourselves a pinball random, which means we should get ourselves some gems right about here, which means a little bit more GP to spend on runes. 5 rubies. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got ourselves our runes here. Got 300 casts. I think that should be enough. It is time to death pile. So we're just going to get a bunch of white knights to attack us. And we'll go ahead and cause a nice death pile here. And then we'll go ahead and do the Lost City quest. Alright, well that is the tree spirit defeated. Should be able to get ourselves a branch now. Make it into a Drayman staff. And there we go. That is the most we can do of Lost City right now. Obviously, we do need to roll Lumbridge in a future region so that we can complete the quest. But we do have the Drayman staff obtained. I very much overcompensated for how many runes I needed. I only used 56 casts and I got 300. So I'd rather have too much than too little, though. So we're going to go back and get our stuff and then carry on with some of the other things I want to do for this week. So I was on my way back to Falador and I decided that I'm going to pop in here quickly and... I never finished... Can I use... I didn't finish Dwarf Cannon. Oh dear, I've just realised that I never finished Dwarf Cannon. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not allowed to make cannonballs with this. I completely forgot about this step of the quest. Apparently I never finished it. That's awkward. I need Sears Village and Asgarnia together to finish Dwarf Cannon. This is a slightly awkward recording. Moving on. So, I was actually in the middle of doing the Knight Sword quest. We get the Blurite right here. And I've grabbed a second one to do the Achievement Diary task to make, I think it's Blurite Limbs or whatever. But I've just come to the realization that my current Slayer task are Ice Warriors again. So, I figured why not just get the task done now? I've got some food on me, I can prayer flick. I know that everyone's going to be furious at the fact that I don't have a Slayer jump on me again. But we'll just get it done. It's not a big deal. I'll finish off the Slayer task and we'll go back to completing the Knight Sword quest. Well, there we go. That is 66 Ice Warriors killed. Bunch of XP. We did get 41 Slayer and halfway through 41 towards 42. So that's great. That is another another Slayer task done. I'm going to get another one in a bit. But first of all, we're going to go ahead and go do Knight Sword. I'm going to be heading over to Rock at some point anyway. Because I want to tick off Shield of Arar real quick, and we'll also get another Slayer task, which we'll grab from Vanica. So let's go ahead and work on Knight Sword, get ourselves that Achievement Diary task done, and then we'll head over to Varrock. Alright, let's go ahead and hand in the Knight Sword. That is going to be another quest complete, 12,725 XP. And go ahead and complete that. That is going to give us 1 smithing level. It's not every day you see someone do the Knight Sword quest and don't jump straight to 29 smithing. But with that done, we can go ahead and use this for the Achievement Diary, and then we're going to head over to Varrock, which I also forgot to mention. We are going to complete Gertrude's Cat this week, which is why I have the bucket of milk and the raw sardine. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I've kind of needed, like, Varrock and a region where I can get the stuff. And now we have access to it, so we can get that. And I'm also going to make this clear. Pets do not count as carryovers as long as they are following me. So, basically, if I've got 2 pets and I'm carrying one and one's following me, I'll have to use a carryover for one of them, not the other. And I know this might be controversial because cats actually have a use, but I just wanted to keep it very black and white. Pets aren't going to count as carryovers because it's just way too inconvenient to sort of fiddle about with the grey area. Let's go ahead and make ourselves some blurite limbs, and that's the easy task done. So I'm just quickly heading over to do Should of Varrock, and I teleported to Varrock with a couple of lore runes we had, and apparently that was a medium task in the Varrock area, so that's cool. Alright, this is going to be Should of Varrock getting finished off. Let's go and hand this in, get us some GP and a quest point. Most importantly, it's going to unlock some quests for us in the future, so that's the main reason why I did that. It is now time to head over to Gertrude and get Gertrude's cat completed, so we can finally get ourselves a little kitten. Cool, this is going to be Gertrude's cat completed. And that gives us our first pet of the account and 1.5k cooking XP. Wonderful. What is with this delay? There we go. Gertrude's cat completed. And we got ourselves a bright white cat. No grey area in this one. It is now time to get another Slayer assignment. What are we going to get, Mr. Vanaka? Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, whoa, no. Do I have... Oh, God. I really don't want to do this, but I might have to just skip this task. I only have one skip available, but kilowatts are disgustingly bad. Especially on a region, like, restricted account. I'm gonna have to. Well, hopefully once we get to our 10th task, we should be able to get a nice bunch of points and not have to worry too much about not having any points. But I'm going to have to skip these. Because this is just really inconvenient. Because here's the thing with these, is to do this as a Slayer task, it's in the Lumbridge region. Which, actually, no, I guess I have access to Spreer. I forgot the Spreer existed. I was going to say I need a Slayer Master in the region as well. To have access to the, is it Insulated Boots I think you need for these? So that would be really inconvenient. But I'm not sure. I'm going to think about this, and maybe I skip it. Really don't know. Okay, after reconsidering, we're on our 18th task. This will be our 19th task. And then I want to get my 20th task from our highest Layer Master. Preferably Cheldar or Neve. Now, obviously, 83 combat, we can't use Neve yet. But we will be able to use Cheldar once we go back to Lumbridge, because we do have the Draymond Staff right here. And obviously, this task is in the Lumbridge region. So naturally, if we get Lumbridge as any region in the future, not only can we complete this task, we can then go on to get our 20th task from Cheldar, and that will line up perfectly. So that's the reason I don't want to skip it right now. It is a horrible task to do, but if I were to skip it and get a different task, then I could be limited to getting, I don't know, something that I somehow can't do for the next, like, 4 weeks, and then happen to get Lumbridge in the meantime, and that would absolutely suck. So we're going to sit on this as a Slayer task for now. It's going to be brutal when I get around to doing it, but I think it lines up best for the overall goals of the account. Alright, so we're talking about doing achievement diary tasks in Mauritania, and I thought, you know what, I'll maybe make the Gothic Balanced Potion. What do we need for that? Thanks, Skill Guide. You are super handy. Gothic's Balance Potion at level 22. What does it require? Dunno. I'm going to have to Google it. Okay, so as you may have seen earlier on in the episode, we were talking about making cannonballs in Mauritania, and obviously I haven't finished the Dwarf Cannon quest, but we do have the mold. So what we're going to attempt to do, naturally I don't want to make it this furnace, but just to save time, we're going to test if we can. Apparently, okay. Yes. Well, that confirms that. I was going to say, we're just going to check to see if I can make cannonballs, sorry, by just having the mold and not finishing the quest. Apparently you can. So, we can go ahead and get that medium task done in Mauritania, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to head over to the furnace in Port Phasmatas, and we'll complete off a achievement diary task. Alright, this clip needs to be made. I just spent the last, I don't know, 15 minutes or so killing Chaos Druids in the Edgefield dungeon to get a Haralander, so that we can make a Guthix Balance Potion in Mauritania. And I get here, and I realise that I planted herbs a while ago. They were Haralanders. I didn't need to do that. You know, sometimes I really annoy myself. But how was I to know that that's what I planted here? It's whatever. I've got the potion now. We're going to go do these diary tasks. Oh, I just feel like such an idiot sometimes. Right, let's get the first task done. We're going to go ahead and make ourselves some cannonballs. This should count as the task. There we go. Medium task is done. Let's go ahead and crush up this silver bar so we can make the Guthix Balance Potion, and that'll be the second one done. So I understand I'm supposed to crush the silver bar in here, but all I did was put it in this bit and took out the dust. Doesn't that kind of defeat the point of the grinder? Shouldn't I have to put it through the whole thing and then take it out of here? Well, I don't I feel like that's just like a stupid oversight. Whatever. Anyway, we're going to go downstairs and combine all these together. I'm just going to double check the order so that I don't do this wrong. And we'll get ourselves this final diary task done. Okay, so adding this should make the Guthix balance potion. And there we go. That's the medium task done. Cool. Right. Now that that's done. Oh, the cat wants some attention. This thing has been needy ever since I got it. Right, so this is going to seem like a bit of a weird one, but I'm going to go ahead and buy a regular staff. And the reason I'm doing this and not an elemental staff is just because I want to use up these runes. And if I get an elemental staff, then I'm going to end up not using up the runes, if that makes sense. I want to go and just do some magic. Not quite decided what I'm going to kill yet. I kind of want to make some money so that we can go ahead and train a little bit more construction. Get 2 more construction levels, and then we'll be able to unlock the armor case, I think it is, for the house. And we'll be able to store void in it, which is massive because we can go and get void this week. So I'm going to figure out what I want to kill with magic, and we'll go and use up the rest of these runes and get ourselves a little bit of magic XP. Maybe even a level. Alright, so I couldn't come up with a conclusive idea on what to kill for money, so I decided to just come down to Hill Giants instead. We're just going to use up all these runes. If we happen to get a giant key, I will go ahead and kill Obor. That could give us something for money. But other than that, once we've used up all these runes, the plan is to head over to Pura for a little while. We're going to hunt down some eclectic implings, not just to get the oak planks, but also to get some stuff to make some money. Because as you know, eclectic implings give a lot of alcohols, stuff that we could sell to the shop. And once we've done that, once we've got enough money, I'm going to be heading over to the sawmill in Varrock, of course. And we'll be using that to get the planks to train construction. We're going to need 187 oak planks in total. We'll get some from the eclectic implings and then some from being made. If I have to make all of them, I'm going to need about 46,000 coins, which is quite a bit. So I'm kind of hoping I get plenty from the eclectic implings as well as the money we get from them, because that will save us a lot of time. Right, well, that's going to finish up the runes that we had. I'm going to drop the last of these. I'm going to drop the elemental stuff for now. We might want to use them as teleports later, but I'm going to try and clear out my inventory as best as I can before going to Pura. I don't have a brass key, I forgot about that. We did manage to get a longbone during this, which I'm going to go shove in the bank with everything else, so that we can look back later and be like, oh, yeah, we had some longbones. I'm going to clear out as much of this inventory as possible. We're going to find a crop circle, and we are just going to hunt down... Oh, I need to go get Deference, actually. We're going to hunt down eclectics, so I'll probably cut off this clip, and I might see you when I'm done, or you'll see me frustrated trying to catch implings, as per usual. So I'm thinking at this point, people watching the video have realized something. I've got myself all the stuff to use Dark Lure, gone and changed my spellbook, only to realize that I need a Kingdom Divided to use this spell. I haven't done a Kingdom Divided. Heck, I haven't even done Client of Korend because I've never had the combination of North and South Korend at the same time. Not only have I just wasted time, I've also wasted about half my cash stack, which at the moment was quite a lot. That's annoying. And this cat constantly wants attention. It is so needy. Okay, so this is useful. Despite what it might seem, 3 watermelon seeds is actually incredibly useful. And the reason for this is because we do need ourselves a watermelon to create a scarecrow within Mauritania to complete, I believe it's an easy task actually in the achievement diary. So, I'm kind of happy I got these. I will be heading over to Mauritania at some point and planting these. For the time being, I'm just going to continue doing these. Been collecting up the mithril pickaxes because I do have access to a specialist shop and I can sell them for about 800 each, and I think it is worth it. Unfortunately, I'm getting very frustrated with this place, as per usual, but that is just Pura for you. So I'm going to go back to concentrating because I can't record and concentrate on this stuff at the same time, and I'll see you guys with another update. Okay, so I'm finishing up another run of Pura, and to be honest, I think I have enough to do construction now. Even though my cash stack is fairly small, if you have noticed up here, I've got 104 oak planks, which is more than half the oak planks I even need. And obviously, the coins are used to turn the logs into planks, so if I've already got the planks, I'm not going to need the money for that. I think it was about 46,000 GP that I needed for this. And obviously, like I said, I've already done over half of that, so that would be, what, like 23,000 coins worth of planks. And then we've got a whole bunch more stuff to get rid of here. So what I'm going to do, with all these mithril pickaxes, we've got some diamond, we've got a diamond, we've got a adamant kite shield, we've got some red spiky vams again, which I'm going to be keeping for the time being. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead off, and we're going to dump all of this stuff into the specialist shops. We've got more watermelon seeds. I'm just going to plant all of them so that we can be somewhat safe, and I guess farming XP in the future never hurt anyone. And then once we've done that, I will be grinding out construction, hopefully getting 45, and then we'll boost the 1 level to get to 46, so we can upgrade the armor case. And then finally, we can unlock the first hard task on the account, and that is going to be one heck of an unlock. Oh, right, yeah. I need 47 farming to plant watermelons. I'll come back to this later. Okay, so we do actually have enough planks here to get the level, but I need to make sure I've got 3 left over so that I can make the thing as well. There's 45 construction. That now gives us the ability to boost the 1 level. I could build the upgraded shelves and get the +2 boost, but I actually only need 46 right now. So I'm going to prioritize just getting the regular one anyway. And we're going to boost 1 level so we can build ourselves this armor case here, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Right, this should give us a +1 boost. 46, build the oak armor case. And with this, we can now store void. Should be on here somewhere. I can find it. Maybe I went past it. Oh, there we go. Void Knight armor. And off recording, I have decided that I'm going to take the melee set. And the reason for that is because we can go back and get the range set later. But I think for the time being, melee is the easiest combat style to use. Because naturally, I'd have to carry over ammo and a weapon to use ranged. And magic is just not practical. So I think melee is the best one to go for first. Oh, crashed up. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves full melee void. And this is going to tick off the first hard task of the entire series. Let's get ourselves some void. We're going to grab the Void Knight top. To the collection log thingy. Get ourselves the Void Knight gloves. Another collection log thingy. Get ourselves the legs. Another one. And finally, for the helm, we're going to be getting ourselves the melee helm. That is a full set of void. Now all we need to do is equip it, and that will complete ourselves the hard task. So let's go ahead, stand over here, get a good view, hopefully hide away the collection log. And we'll go ahead and equip, 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 equip. That is a full set of void armor. Okay, so the rewards for this hard task are 500,000 XP, 10 super combat potions, or 500 nature runes. I'm really hoping this XP doesn't land on fire making, because this could be a really good boost of XP from where we are right now. If this goes on Herblore, that is absolutely huge for us. Really, really hoping for it. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves the spinning wheel, and we'll see what XP we get from this. Let's spin the wheel for 500,000 XP. You know what? I will take it. It's not a terrible skill for it to land on. The fact that the next two were cooking and fire making, I'm kind of glad it stopped there. 500,000 smithing XP. That's going to be huge. I think that's what I'm going to take, though, because the super combat potions and the nature runes, I don't plan on carrying them over, and they're just going to get wasted by the end of this week. So that is going to be 500,000 smithing XP added at the end of the episode. But still, full melee void looks pretty good. Alright, after killing way too many goblins, we got ourselves a chef's hat. So, what I can do now is go to the Cook's Guild in Varrock, and we can get ourselves a garden pie, which is going to allow us to boost the farming so we can finally plant the watermelon seeds in the future preparation to plant a scarecrow in Mauritania. In the meantime, while that's growing, I want to go ahead and try and beat Darkness of Halaval. Now, we've only got like an hour and 45 minutes or so we might not be able to do the whole thing, but I'm going to try and get as much of it done as possible. There's not that many items needed. Some nails, a couple of planks, hammer, knife, and then telegrab runes, which I've just realized I probably should have saved a lore rune. Oops. I'll figure that out somehow. And we'll take on Darkness of Halaval. Hoping it's not too difficult. Yeah, I was going to try the quest after that, but I think that might be a little bit ambitious. I don't think I've quite got the gear to take it on. Also, we got ourselves a beginner clue, which I'm probably going to go and try and do some of on the way past, seeing as it is in Barbarian Village. Right, we've got ourselves the garden pie boost. It is now time to plant ourselves some watermelon seeds, which hopefully will stay alive. I'm going to water them anyway to give them that little extra boost. And that will allow us to get the watermelon for the scarecrow. I don't think the bronze spear is going to be too difficult to do. I can get that from goblins, which are available in most regions, if not all of them. So we should be perfectly fine to finish that off. Ooh, a cat just grew up. Nice. That's a fully grown cat. That is, first of all, really convenient because I'm sick of trying to feed it and stroke it all the bleeding time. But also, if we ever get desert in the future, we can now do the desert quests with the cat. I'm going to carry it around so it doesn't become an overgrown cat, because obviously we don't want that. And but that's still pretty good. That also helped for RFD as well when we get around to finally managing to do that. Probably a long way off just yet, but still, cat's grown up. Nice. Well, it's been a while. It's been a long quest. Long, arduous, annoying quest, but we are finally going to finish Darkness of Halaval. And that unlocks the next quest. I think it's Taste of Hope next, or it's Taste of Hope and Sins of the Father. I can't remember which one comes first. I think it's the Taste of Hope. But we are probably not going to be doing that for a while because we are very under-equipped for that. But let's go ahead and hand in this quest. Another huge achievement for this account. Skip through the dialogue, and there we go. Quest is completed. With a bunch of XP, we probably could have done this first and saved ourselves the time for the construction. I didn't realize it gave construction XP. It's only 2,000. It's not a major deal, but still. Oh, we also get Time of Experience. Very nice. Okay, so what do we put this on? Normally, I'd consider Herblore, but I think Slayer might be more useful for this account, considering we can get XP rewards for Herblore and we cannot for Slayer. So I'm going to put these onto Slayer. 2,000. We get 3 of these, I think. So 2,000 and then 2,000. Any levels? We got 42 Slayer. That actually unlocks Fever Spiders, which is also useful because that is for Cabin Fever, I believe. Which we will be wanting to do in the future, but obviously we cannot get Mauritania again next week because that will be 3 weeks in a row. But when we do next get Mauritania, we are stacked on things to do. Right, we have 10 minutes left of this episode, so before I forget to, because that would be an absolutely awful thing to do, I'm going to go ahead and store the void in the POH. Because if I forgot to do that and the timer ended, yeah, we would be in a bit of a pickle. Right, so, obviously, I'm not actually a UAM, but as the rule would go, the same way as it is with UAMs, if I don't have the full set, I can't take it out. Naturally, we do have the full void set, and we also have the melee helm right here. So that is all stored in the house. Can you store this in here as well, or maybe in here? I don't know. But anyway, that is the void set stored. If we have access to our POH next week, then we will be able to use void. If not, then we won't. So that's pretty simple how that's going to work. It might require me to move the house, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, we've got just under 10 minutes left to go. And I think the last thing I want to do is build the clue stash, which uses the chef's hat. And that way we will always have access to a chef's hat within Varrock. I'm really hoping it's this one, because if it's not... Okay, good. Right, there we go. That is the chef's hat stored with a red cape. We've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. I'm going to run up to Edgeville and buy myself an ectofile from Purdue, because these coins are going to get wasted anyway. Who cares if it's a waste of money? I want to try and get to the farming patch in Mauritania before the timer runs out, because that will allow me to make sure that the watermelons have survived. If they haven't, I still have another bite of the garden pie and 6 more seeds to go ahead and plant them again. And that will just ensure that we definitely have watermelons next time we come to Mauritania. They are both grown, crisis averted. I can now relax. All of the stuff we've got is going to get wasted now, unfortunately. But still, we do know that we have watermelons for the future. With 20 seconds left, I can't do anything. I was going to try and plant the seeds, but I'll end up with an empty herb patch anyway. So, honestly, I am just going to let the timer run down, and we're going to finish off this week of Regional Rumble. 3, 2, 1, and that is another week of Regional Rumble completed. Moving on from this week of Regional Rumble, we are going to be keeping 6 items. However, we will now be dropping the Guthix Cape in substitution for the Draman Staff, because I want to try and get Lumbridge so we can get a Dragon Long, and carrying this over is probably the best way to do it. I also want to mention, if I haven't already mentioned, pets do not count as carryovers, so as long as they are following me instead of being in my inventory, they are perfectly fine. So just clarifying that once again, that's why the cat is out. So we're going to be carried over the 6 items: the Marks of Grace, the Helm of Nature's Knot, Rune Scimitar, Draman Staff, Red Dead Body, and Rune Boots. With that covered, it is time to spin ourselves another 4 regions. Alright. I don't mind it. It's not exactly what I was asking for, but it probably does me some good to have a bit of a breather again, because the last 2 weeks have been so full of content that it'd be nice to get, down, sit back, and do some grinds again. So, we'll move on with another week of Regional Rumble.